Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our empowering content. Today we're tackling a topic that many of you have asked about, and it's a topic that's both sensitive and crucial to discuss: decoding the phrases men might use when they're not being genuine in a relationship. You know, relationships are complex, filled with highs and lows, and sometimes it's hard to discern someone's true intentions. That's why we're here today, to give you the tools to better understand what might be going on and how to handle it. Now, I want to make something very clear. This video is not about blaming or shaming anyone. Relationships are a two-way street, and sometimes people aren't even fully aware of their own actions or intentions. What we aim to do is empower you to recognize certain red flags and equip you with actionable advice on how to address them constructively and ethically. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's dive deep into this topic. Trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end. We've got some real gems to share. Quick disclaimer before we start. This video is all about empowerment and awareness. The phrases we're about to discuss are not definitive proof of ill intentions, but they are red flags you should be aware of. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's kick things off with a phrase you've probably heard before. I'm not looking for anything serious right now. This one's a classic, isn't it? It's almost like the unofficial anthem of modern dating. But what does it really mean? Well, often it's a way to keep things casual, to avoid commitment, while still enjoying the benefits of a relationship. It's like having your cake and eating it too. Now let's be fair, sometimes people genuinely aren't looking for something serious, and that's okay. The issue arises when this phrase is used as a smokescreen to keep you invested, without offering you the commitment you might be seeking. It's a way to keep you around without promising anything substantial in return. So what should you do if you hear this phrase? First and foremost, it's time for an open and honest conversation. Ask questions like, what does not serious mean to you? Or, are we on the same page about our expectations? This is your chance to clarify what you both want and need from the relationship. If you're looking for something more serious and they're not, it might be time to reevaluate the relationship. Now let's talk ethics. Relationships should be built on mutual respect and honesty. If someone tells you they're not looking for anything serious, take them at their word, but also hold them to it. Make sure you're not being led on or given false hope. And if you're the one saying it, be clear about your intentions and respectful of the other person's feelings and expectations. Pro tip: always trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Your intuition is a powerful tool. Don't ignore it. Moving on to our next phrase, let's keep this between us. Now this one can be a bit tricky. On the surface it might seem innocent enough, like a request for privacy, but often it's a red flag signaling that something's not quite right. Secrecy can be a double-edged sword. While some matters should remain private between partners, excessive secrecy can be a sign that the other person is hiding something or doesn't want to acknowledge the relationship openly. This can be especially concerning if you've been seeing each other for a while and yet they still insist on keeping things hush-hush. If you hear this phrase, it's time to assert your need for transparency. Ask direct questions like, why do you want to keep this a secret? Or, are you hiding something? Your relationship deserves the light of day, and you have every right to know why they want to keep it in the shadows. Let's talk about ethics for a moment. Open communication is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. If someone is insisting on secrecy without a valid reason, it's a breach of that essential trust. Both parties should feel comfortable being open about their relationship, and if that's not the case, it's time to ask some serious questions. Pro tip: if you find yourself in this situation, don't just sweep it under the rug. Address it head on. Ignoring red flags now can lead to bigger issues down the line. Now let's delve into a phrase that's often thrown around to dismiss or invalidate someone's feelings. You're too emotional. This one's a doozy, isn't it? It can make you question your own emotions and even feel guilty for having them. Labeling someone as too emotional can be a form of gaslighting. It's a way to deflect from the issue at hand by making it about your reaction rather than the action that caused it. This can be incredibly damaging, as it undermines your trust in your own feelings and perceptions. So what should you do if you hear this phrase? First of all, stand your ground. Your emotions are your internal barometer, and they are valid. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're overreacting or being too emotional. Instead, try saying something like, "My feelings are valid, and we need to address why I feel this way." Now let's talk ethics. Emotional validation should be a two-way street in any healthy relationship. If someone is dismissing your feelings, it's not just unethical, it's also a sign of emotional immaturity. A mature, healthy relationship involves validating each other's feelings and working through issues together. Pro tip: if you find yourself constantly being labeled as too emotional, it might be worth seeking the advice of a trusted friend or even a professional. Sometimes an outside perspective can provide invaluable insights into your relationship dynamics. All right, let's move on to another phrase that can be quite jarring when you hear it. "I don't owe you anything." This one can really sting, can't it? It's often used as a way to evade responsibility or accountability within the relationship. When someone says, "I don't owe you anything," it's usually an attempt to absolve themselves of any responsibility for your feelings or for the relationship as a whole. It's a way to put all the onus on you, making you feel like you're asking for too much when, in reality, you're just asking for the basic respect and consideration that should be present in any healthy relationship. So, what can you do if you're hit with this phrase? First, take a step back and assess the situation. Are your expectations unreasonable, or is the other person simply unwilling to meet you halfway? Once you have a clearer picture, it's time to set boundaries and clarify your expectations. You might say something like, "In a relationship, there are mutual expectations and responsibilities. If you're not willing to acknowledge that, we need to reevaluate what we're doing here." On the topic of ethics, it's important to remember that relationships are built on mutual obligations. Whether it's emotional support, time, or effort, both parties should be contributing to the relationship. If someone is unwilling to acknowledge that, it's a red flag that shouldn't be ignored. Pro tip: keep in mind that actions speak louder than words. If someone is consistently showing you that they're not willing to meet you halfway, it might be time to consider whether the relationship is worth continuing. Next on our list is a phrase that's often misunderstood: "I need space." Now, this one can be a real head-scratcher. On one hand, everyone needs personal space to grow and breathe. On the other hand, when does "I need space" become a euphemism for emotional distance, or even a prelude to a breakup? The phrase "I need space" can be a legitimate request for personal time to think, reflect, or just be alone. However, it can also be used as a way to create emotional distance without having to address underlying issues in the relationship. The key is to understand the context and the timing. Is this request coming out of nowhere, or is it following a significant event or argument? If you hear this phrase, the first thing to do is respect their request for space. But that doesn't mean you should sever all emotional ties. Maintain your emotional connection by communicating openly. You might say something like, "I understand you need space, and I respect that. Can we talk about what that means for us moving forward?" Now let's talk about the ethical aspect. Balance is crucial in any relationship. While it's important to respect each other's individuality, it should not come at the expense of the relationship itself. Both parties should feel secure and valued, even when space is needed. Pro tip: use the time apart to also reflect on your own needs and boundaries. Sometimes a little space can provide the clarity needed to address issues more effectively. And finally, we come to a phrase that can be a real gut punch. "You knew what this was." This one is often used as a way to deflect responsibility and put the blame on you, as if you should have known better. When someone says, "You knew what this was," it's usually an attempt to absolve themselves of any accountability by suggesting that you were fully aware of the situation from the beginning. However, relationships are dynamic. They evolve, and so do our feelings and expectations. Using this phrase is a way to freeze the relationship in time, ignoring any emotional or situational developments. If you encounter this phrase, it's crucial to clarify your needs and expectations right away. Don't let someone use past agreements to invalidate your current feelings. You might say, "Yes, I knew what this was, but things have changed, and we need to talk about where we stand now." Ethics come into play here as well. Ongoing consent and mutual understanding are vital in any relationship. Just because something was agreed upon at the start doesn't mean it's set in stone. Both parties should feel free to express changing feelings or needs. Pro tip: keep the lines of communication open. If you're feeling uneasy about the direction the relationship is taking, speak up. Your feelings are valid, and so are your changing needs and expectations. So there you have it, folks. We've unpacked 6 phrases that could serve as red flags in your relationship. But remember, these phrases are not definitive proof of ill intentions. They're signals that warrant a closer look. The key takeaway here? Empower yourself with the knowledge to recognize these potential red flags and equip yourself with the tools to address them in an ethical and constructive manner. And it's clear that you're not alone in this journey. Relationships are complex, but with open communication, mutual respect, and a little bit of courage, you can navigate through these challenges and come out stronger on the other side. Now, we want to hear from you. If you've encountered any of these phrases, your experience could be invaluable to someone else going through the same thing. So please, share your stories in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with someone who might benefit from it. For more empowering content like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We've got a lot more insightful topics coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to receive notifications for new videos. See you again soon.